Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Agent Academy. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle or MP3 player. And now, welcome to the Agent Academy.
Downloading latest intel package. Welcome back. I was getting worried about you.
Agent Academy, episode 33, recorded on August 29th, 2018. I am Agent Soho.
And I'm Agent Goonie Guy.
Cassandra Prime has ended. But who won? Win or lose, we went to a big old party, and we'll tell you all about it. We got some news today about Prime Beta, as well as some Ingress tips. Also, Agent Zellybelly isn't here this week. She's off visiting aliens in a parallel universe, so she'll be back next week. Unless it takes a few thousand years, but either way, she could travel through time, so she's got it covered. But she might be a really old woman, so it might get weird next week. So, yeah, there you have it.
She may or may not be blowing up some portals over in Chi-Town, too. So
in Chi-Town. In this dimension, right? In this universe.
Right,
Sweet.
right.
She's all over the place.
Well, I think there's the big Star Wars convention going on over there. So I know she's there with some friends and family. So
okay, cool.
She'll get some Ingress time in when she gets a chance.
Sweet. Nice. Okay, well, I guess we could jump into the show because we both kind of did some cool stuff this week by partying.
Doing a party.
Yeah, and kind of watch it, getting the scores in real time, meeting with a lot of Ingress folk, people that came from out of town. It's just a big list of stuff. You want to explain it a little bit?
Sure. It's basically had a viewing party and got to see a bunch of ENL folks together and watch the scores come in and see how the event was playing out live. And so it was really cool being able to talk to everyone. And we had a group. It was a bunch of cool folks. I don't know if cool is the word. Awesome. Super awesome. But I kind of want to send some thanks out to everyone who was there, because it was an awesome time, and it couldn't have been that way without everyone. So big thanks to Arctic Revel. I said that with a V, but that's with a B. And Evil Amy, who man, they brought some incredible food with them. I was not expecting to eat so well at the party. Usually you just get chips.
Yeah, I've never had ribs that good. That was really, really good. Like the seasoning, something about it. It was really good.
And they were huge. Like when we were done, they had leftovers and they sent them home with me and fed my entire family with the ribs and the mac and cheese, and there was corn casserole and corn muffins. And it was delicious. And big thank you. Also, they left us for the Agent Academy. We each got a cute little llama thing, which are awesome, and they go wow. And
Wow.
They're all rainbow, but the stripes go in different ways, so you'll have to pick one. And,
Sweet.
Then we have little mascots, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. And also, we got to meet some agents who came all the way from Austin, Flashpout and Ultimum Centauro. It was really cool to meet them and hear about just the culture in other areas, like in a big city like Austin. I guess Austin's pretty spread out. Like Texas is huge, and so there's oil there and stuff. But so that was cool. Flashpout actually brought a birthday cake. It was an awesome chocolate birthday cake for Giant Fox, who also came. And you've probably been covered in a field by Giant Fox. He's always making huge baths and It's he's a great guy, and it's always great working with him. So it's great seeing him, as well as Allison Seven and Pilot Seven, who she's just had I think like some eye surgery, but she was a trooper and came anyway. She just wanted to see everyone, and they brought some awesome cookies and potato salad. So that was really good.
Oh yeah, the cookies were really, really good. Yeah, it was really cool hearing everybody's stories too about just all this stuff. Like I hadn't met a lot of those people, but just hearing just cool stuff all over the place. Just I don't know, it was a really good time. Also the swapping too, like swapping. Well, Arctic Fox gave me a ton of stuff. Gave me all kinds of things and
loaded up on gear and stuff.
Yeah, trading stuff, and like I've been cooking stuff in my quantum capsule for so long. I'm like, I guess so. Of other people, it's just like fun to just trade out, and then I realize how much garbage I have. Like, why do I have like almost 300 like Jarvis? Like I don't know, like stupid. I'm hoarding stuff, and I'm realizing it. I'm like, here, take it. So I think it was a good time to kind of realize like what I don't know, to hear other people's quantum stories too. You know, it's always quantum stories. How many you got? What you cooking? What you doing? How long did it take you? You know, so to kind of gauge that was pretty cool too. But anyway, but there's more people on this list that came.
Yeah, Willen Tailed Shredder. He's a local guy. He's always out there when you need something done. He's there to do it. So it was great to see him. And he brought some little smokies, which I love. And with all the food and everything, I never actually got to eat one, but I heard they were delicious. Did you get a chance to get a little weenie? I
didn't. No, I didn't get it. I didn't get any little weenies.
Well, we'll have to have another party because those are like my faves. And when he said he was going to bring them, I was already drilling. And then, of course, Phelan, who was like, he was like the party captain, just like, what? And he brought some Chick-fil-A nuggets. And it was like enough to feed, I think, 100 people. I mean, there were so many nuggets.
Yeah, there was a ton. I just kept eating them like popcorn, like just grabbing them. Man, that's freaking awesome. I love those things.
and of course, Luna Kim came. So it was great seeing her. And we may be all three of us doing a trip possibly to Austin to go to, the anomaly there. Which I hear possibly that the Kruganator is going to be there. So we'll have to go buy him a beer and say hi.
Yeah, that'd be cool to hang out in real life and IRL.
So anyway, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who came out to the party. It was a great time, and we need to do it again soon. So let's get back together, and thanks everyone for helping to clean up and take care of like the mess afterwards, because that is always the suck part. And like Evil Amy, she would not leave without it being like just everything clean and spotless like it was when she got there. So really appreciate it, and thanks.
And you got to give away a bunch of swag too. I don't think I have any laying around, but we probably shown you guys before stickers and cards, exclusive cards. Our Agent Academy card, which that was the first time we got to hand that out, I guess, right?
Yeah, and actually, I got to sign a couple of them. That was kind of weird and cool at the same time. But,
right? Yeah. So yeah, fun times, man. Everybody, well, I guess not everybody had on like green, but certainly it's kind of like a well, I don't guess it's like, I was gonna say it's like a little anomaly, but it's not like an anomaly at all because there were no portals there, but I don't know. It's just a fun party. Like, I think all the time people should have these kind of like Ingress parties and cross faction parties too. We haven't had one of those in a long time. Yeah. But yeah, cool times.
Yeah, and until they, make the hack pack that you can take with your friends, do it away from a portal every once in a while, because it's, when there's a portal there, everybody wants to hack it, and you get a lot less talking and interaction. So there's that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was most of the week. I did get to play with my new phone. The phone's kind of really not that great. I mean, it's a fine phone, Moto G6. I've had a couple issues, and I don't know if it's because I dropped it, but when I long glyph, like when I glyph hack, sometimes on the left side of the phone, it stops registering my finger. And so like I'll be, drawing a glyph over there, and as soon as it gets like past a point, it stops drawing and then starts the next one. So it's like miss, and I'm like trying to back up to redo, but it just won't take. And so it's really been kind of pissing me off on my glyph hacking. It's just frustrating, and it's slippery. It is like a slippery eel. So I don't know if you're looking for a new phone, especially the iOS Apple users. We have some news about that coming up, so be sure to stay tuned for the news. But Project Fi, that's what I'm going to call it, instead of Fi. I don't know if it's Fi or Fi. We're going to find that out one day. Someone let us know. It's been awesome. Like, all the places that I've had issues with Sprint, like, no issues with Project Fi. So I'm really excited about that. And looking forward to eventually upgrading the phone possibly when the Pixel 3 comes out, just depending on how much they are. Have they released the price? Do you think it'll be the same?
Yeah, it might be $850, but then the XL might be $1,000. I don't know. That seems to be their new price point. That's what I think. They haven't released it though. No. So October, pretty soon. They'll have a Google I/O or something like that talking about it.
Google I/O.
But it's so your G6 is cracked out. I mean, you did drop it. It's like,
yeah, I did drop it.
So I have this new phone. It fell out of a window of a 10-story building, and it hit the pavement and shattered into 1,000 pieces. But besides that, I don't understand why I can't swipe on the screen anymore. It's always like,
it would be one thing if it was like all the time,
right?
But it's just like this random. I don't know. Like, it seems like apps just kind of hose up a little bit, and I've got to like close them out and open them back up, and then they seem to work. Besides that, like the battery life has been great, and it charges super fast with the turbocharging, and like all that's been good. But it's just that one thing with glyph hacking. Like,
okay. So you could probably sell it. I mean, gazelle it.
Well, it's a pretty cheap phone as phones come, right? It was a $200 phone, right? So
yeah.
It'll probably become one of my kids' phones. I mean, they're getting to where, and then I can sell theirs. Because they're stupid Sprint phones, and I need to get them off of Sprint and onto whatever. So that's fun. What? Anything else before we move on here?
No, not really. That was the bulk of the week, I think. So, yeah. And then, oh wait, do you want to hear from Zelly Belly?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have like a puppet or something? I'm out this week. I'm in Chicago. So, if you see me pop up, I'll blow up your stuff. Bye. All right. Well, cool. All right.
We'll have to use that shot on the website for her. She'll love that.
So anyway, yeah.
Situation report.
Sit rep.
What's up in the sit rep? This is news and Ingress topics and discussion. If there's something we're missing each week and you're like, why don't they talk about this? Just let us know. Tweet us or send us an email. Go to our website and submit stuff there. We've got a new page for What's in the Capsule, but we'll talk about that in What's in the Capsule. Go figure. But this week, big news for the Enlightened. The Enlightened win, spoiler alert, win Cassandra Prime 11-7. Which, oddly enough, the code for the badge for this episode this week is AA1127AA or AA1127AA. So we'll give that now. So we'll switch that up. But anyway, so the scores were Philadelphia Enlightened 265 to 134, Vancouver Enlightened 298 to 51, Linz was 268 to 131. That's Resistance winning. Riga was 184 to 165. Enlightened. Singapore was 247 to 152. Resistance. Incheon 284 to 65. That was Enlightened. And it seems like medals have been being pushed for Cassandra and for mission days. So be looking for those in your scanner if you were physically at those events. There are possibly some missing matches, and Andrew is looking into that.
Weird.
So fun stuff. Grats, Enlightened. You got to turn the light green now. In your honor.
Yeah, that was some pretty wild scores right there. There's like like 65 to 284. That's a big stretch. I mean, there's some. There's like one of them was like kind of close though. It was like 20 points. That in Riga. That was a really close one, but all the other ones were just like really lopsided. You just never know what you're gonna get. Cool.
Yeah, and it may be how the anomalies happen, like just the different phases. They could just kind of go one way or the other for the most part because of how they happen. We won't get into actually how each phase went. I think we talked about that a little more on a past episode. So good reason to go back and listen to those if you hadn't. And there's information on our website about it as well. But yeah, it seems pretty lopsided. And it'll be interesting to see how they change the next set of anomalies. Recursion Prime, which is the next series. So get ready and keep an eye out for the signups. They're probably already starting, and how you can get involved with your faction. And come see us. We're looking to be at not the first set. The first set there aren't any primes in the first date set. The second set, I believe, is like November 17th. Does that sound right? It's the weekend before Thanksgiving. We're going to try to be at the Austin. I think I'm going to be able to. I had some worries because the company I work for actually just merged with another company. And so there's new bosses and new stuff going on. And so it's one of those things where you don't want to be that dude the first day when the new boss gets there and be like, well, just so you know, I've asked off for this week in November. But it helps that it's the weekend before Thanksgiving. So everybody expects folks to take off around then anyway. So I'm 90, I would say at this point, I'm 95% sure I'll be there. So come get a card. Look for us.
Yeah. And, you don't have to tell, like, your boss what you're doing there either. Because, they'll assume it's family-oriented because it's, like, so close. They're like, oh, cool. I mean, if they happen to say, oh, so you have family in Texas? Just be like, change the subject real quick. Like, why are your shoes untied? I don't know. Is that Spider-Man running down the hallway? But, yeah, like awesome. I think I'll probably do that, too, because, like, there's no sense in, like, I don't know.
Well, and the funny thing is that like we actually have some friends from one of our past shows that live in Austin, and one of my coworkers works colo because her husband is a welder, and he travels around to where they need welding inspectors to inspect stuff. So they live in an RV with 2 kids. I mean, they're really young kids. One's like a newborn, and one's like 3 or so. Anyway. They travel around in this RV, and so I was kind of reaching out to everyone like, hey, that may be some, free rooms. Probably not the RV, but they're all coming back to other places to see family for Thanksgiving on those weekends, so they won't be there. Maybe we can see if we can Airbnb their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Save some money on the rooms, that sort of thing.
Right.
So that's Austin, so look for us there.
There we go. Yeah,
and we'll get our Ingress on, and we'll like post stuff in the scanner like, Austin, I am in you. Right?
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
You gotta do that one.
Yes. What else do we have, y'all? What is this one?
So, have you ever heard of the XM Profiler?
No.
So I hadn't either, and this is actually a very old thing. So that's the only reason I'm bringing it up. I happen to see this on the Reddit, and it's what's their name? I'll get the name in a second. Anyway, it is a physical portal that is there's one in Odaiba, Tokyo. I guess there's like 3 or 4 locations in Japan that you can go to these, and you can like click around and it shows who owns that portal. And I believe it's they're by Itoen. So because of the promotion, the in-game promotion with Ingress, they've made these machines, and they look like vending machines. So they'll be sitting there next to a Coke machine, and it looks really cool. So we'll link to some videos and information about these. So if you happen to be in Japan, you can check
That
them
was
out.
tweeted too. Niantic had tweeted something like a living building or a living portal or something. It was like a big building, and it was like changing colors and stuff. That's what that was.
I think that's from what's it called? Epiphany Night.
Oh, okay. See, I couldn't tell if it was like an Epiphany thing or
This is like a machine, but they did the same thing basically. Those big ones are the ones that the players built, and they were like big and hooked into the internet and checked in all this stuff. These are like little, like seriously smaller than a Coke machine.
Weird.
Like there's I'm trying to find the link. There's a link to the news story, and I'll put that in. No, I won't put it in chat because the chat I have up can't post. This one can. I'll post the news story in chat, and I believe that has some images in there for folks, and I'll put it in the show notes as well. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting and cool, and figured since I'd never heard of it or knew it was there, that others may not as well. One big thing I think people need to be keeping an eye out on, be wary of if you're an Apple user, if you're on iOS. There's been reports that the beta version for iOS 12, which will be coming out next month, probably early. Whenever they do the new phone, it'll be released. But apparently, Ingress is not working in that beta. The RoboVM, that's the engine that they made Ingress for iOS on. It's no longer supported in there. And this has happened in the past for some of the beta versions where Ingress stopped working and other games. And then they worked once they went through some revisions and it came out. But, I mean, this one's, I think it's on like revision 9 or 10 or maybe even further. So it's pretty far along and it's about to be released. So I would say if you're on iOS, make sure you don't auto download or just upgrade until you are sure that it's working. And it kind of sucks for iOS users because apparently there's supposed to be some big speed improvements, especially for older phones like 6 Pluses. I mean, it was like 60-70% speed increase to like launching apps and keyboard and some other functions. So iOS users are going to want to update, but not if you play Ingress. And Andrew is looking into this to see what's going on, and hopefully we'll hear something about that during the AMA, which will probably be September 4th, he says. He's going to take the day off, the Monday. It is a holiday here in the U.S.
Labor Day, yeah.
So just expect it. It's not going to happen, and he thinks he will be able to get to it on the 4th. So let's give him a break for that, and it gives you an extra day to think of some great questions. Like
some winners.
Have you heard about this iOS 12 beta thing not working, and are you going to have Prime out at the same time to take care of that?
Yeah, great question.
Right? I think...
yeah.
Does that... You're not on iPhone, iOS, so you could care less?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, not anymore. I cut ties with Apple years ago. I liked it. I don't have any issues. I just changed. So this weekend is Dragon Con weekend. Yeah, and you know what I'd never ever see at Dragon Con? Like,
iPhones?
Cosplay. Well, cosplay is huge, right? 50,000 people, or I think more like 80,000 people go there every year now.
Right.
Something I've never seen. I've been going to Dragon Con since 89, I think was the first year. Well, I've skipped years here and there, but anyway, never seen this. Ingress cosplay. There you go. It's a freebie. Y'all can have it.
And everybody be like, who are you?
Like, who's that? Right? I don't know. Like, somebody do something cool and take pictures and give it to us, and we'll check them out. I mean, I don't know.
If there were
you
some
could be
people
you could be a portal. You could go as a capsule. You don't have to be a person, right? In the lore, you could just be something obvious, like a scanner with, like, I don't know,
a
like
non-working iPhone on iOS 12,
right?
trying to play Ingress
With a cracked screen on it. I don't know. Yeah, somebody do stuff.
You could go as a multi-hack.
Yeah. You go as you could go as a freaking link amp.
What do you think about someone going as a multi-hack? Would you do that?
Would I go as a multi-hack?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? Is there something weird about the multi-hack that I should know about?
No. I was just I was looking for Ingress cosplay. And
okay.
That was one of
Did
the
you find
costumes
any?
I saw.
I guess it's something I've never actually searched. Oh, there you go. You pulled some up. Is that really? It is green. But see, if you saw her, you'd be like,
it's a multi-hack wings.
Oh, I see the wings. Okay. I didn't see that. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. So that's legit.
It's very rare.
Yeah, that's really cool. See, that's some creative stuff. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Well, the thing is, I've never seen it with my own eyes at any convention. That's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure this is in Japan. I mean, this is all. These are all Japanese characters. I can't read what it actually says besides some English about what the items are. And there's more. Mm-hmm. So search for. Oh, hey, that's a cool one.
Oh, hey, Phelan's in the chat room. He said he saw one at an Ingress panel. Oh, shoot. I didn't even know there was an Ingress panel at all. They cosplays as the Enlightened, he said. Nice. Okay. Well, I guess there's stuff going on that I don't know about. Imagine that.
Is there a panel this year?
I don't know. Oh, that's the multi-hat girl.
If there's a panel this year, I might have to drive over and
that's cool.
See who's there.
Yeah, Ada cosplay. Nice stuff. Well, there you go. If you're not going to Dragon Con this year, then you can join me. I'll be weeping in the corner. We can weep together.
About not going?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I'm that sad. I'll go next year. I keep not going. Like the last 2 years, I think, 3 years.
Right.
Anyway.
I was thinking about actually driving there this weekend. But not going to Dragon Con. But
really?
If there were people that we knew there, we could I guess I could stop and say hi and
yeah, we know a couple of people who live there. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Well, don't think too long, sir, because we got a lot more in the show to talk about, and a lot is in this thing that's coming down from the sky.
What's in the capsule? What's in the capsule?
In my ear.
Capsule? What's in the 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 capsule?
I love like the drums mixed in there too.
It fell on the drums.
Just imagine an old drum set coming like bursting out.
Bursters.
So we have the some capsule ideas. So we don't have many, but this time we decided to just focus on just 2 really good ones.
I think you're overselling it again.
Am I hyping it up?
Hyping it up.
So what do you have that's really good?
Well, before I give this horribly crappy idea, I would like to mention that we have a new page on agentacademypodcast.com. It's up in the menu. It's the What's in the Capsule page, and I will link to it in chat here. You can actually go there, and there's a form to fill out. There's a button that you can click that auto-fills like half a tweet out for you, and then you can put your ID in there. And the cool thing is that if you tweet using that, or if you tweet using the hashtag What's in the Capsule, it'll actually show up on a map on this page. So let's see, I can actually show that. So on this map, and it's a little bit bigger map than the window I have showing on the screen right now, but it'll cycle through the new tweets with the ideas and actually go to the location where you're listed from, I believe, in your Twitter profile. So then we can see, like, where are these tweets coming from? Oh, we get a lot in Florida about needing sunscreen. Ingress sunscreen. So anyway, go to that link, submit your ideas, and everybody will see them, like live, real time, if they're on that page. And then we'll talk about it on the next show. Oops, you got a little peek in there. So
And they'll be like, Ingress sunscreen, how stupid is that?
right.
And then Niantic starts selling it on their store, and you're like, never mind. I'll buy a few tubes.
I will eat some. I will pour it on my tongue and not get sun tongue.
Sun tongue. I will get naked and take a bath in it. Anyway, what do you have here? What's in your capsule? What's in your capsule? Right? Is that the new thing? Like, what's in your wallet?
What's hey, that's a good. We need to do that for the next bumper for it.
Right?
I wonder if we could hire them on Fiverr. Who's the actor that does? Anyway, I was thinking what might be cool is a bounty board, which, this would have been really bad in the past when we had Guardians to worry about, because, people were putting bounties on Guardians left and right. But I was thinking, like, what if there was a bounty board where you could say, there's an anchor that needs to get dropped, but you're at work and can't do it. So you throw a bounty on the bounty board to this link, and it's only good for people who are in the same area that you are, that's in the same cell, right? And so people could look at that bounty board and go, oh, hey, I can go drop this link and I'll get whatever items you put up for that bounty. So you could be like, well, I've got 300 Jarvises I need to get rid of. I'm going to put 300 Jarvises on there. And, you'd have to figure out all the logistics of keeping it from being abused for cheats. But, that's just part of it. But then you could, you go complete it, and you're the first one to do it, and then you can go collect your bounty.
Oh, neat. Okay. That's pretty cool. I like that. So it's like missions, but with a reward, I guess.
And it's agent run, right? I mean,
yeah.
I guess Ingress or Niantic could put bounties on the boards that popped up as just kind of filler as well, just so it's active and there's stuff to do, and it wouldn't be like probably critical stuff. They wouldn't put them up there to drop like a big field for you, right? It would just be like, hey, I need you to go hack this portal for me. Here's an Aegis for doing it or something.
Yeah. Okay. So how about like daily quests, like in a MMO, or a daily bounty, right? So it goes away after 24 hours, and then they just change randomly. You have a new list of bounties, and you look through the list, and you're like, nah, all these look too difficult. And you wait the next day, you're like, oh, they refresh, but it gives you a very short time to do it. That way, there's like this sense of urgency, and you're like, oh, well, we better get out right now because no time to waste,
And there's a certain amount, right? Like, so maybe there's only 10, and it could go off like how many were done yesterday, and so it will adjust accordingly. So it tries to keep around how many ever were done, and maybe it'll increase rewards if they're not being done enough or something. But yeah,
I like that.
Then like as you do them, it gets knocked off the board. So if 3 of them get done that day, then the board may be empty, and you've got to come back the next day and get more.
Right. That's cool. That's really cool. Shoot, yeah, man. I would love that. Daily bounties. I like it. Huh. Well, good. Okay.
So it wasn't as bad as I thought. How about your crappy idea?
I'm going to surprise you because it's going to be awesome. And then it's going to be crappy again. It's one of those roller coaster ones where it seems cool, but it's not. Okay, so here it is. And just kind of thinking about being in the mentality of being at an anomaly, and of course we didn't go to Philadelphia or Philly, whatever. We didn't go, but just knowing that, like when you're there, right? So you're having to, I was thinking about the recharge aspect actually. So being able to jump back and forth between portals while you're in the portal screen. So when I pull up my scanner and oh god, I have to wait for it to load. So when you're in your scanner and you've clicked on the portal, and then you've like when you're looking at the map, right?
Right. But you're zoomed in on like where you can click on different portals.
Right. Yeah. In that mode, whatever that's called. But yeah. So when you're in there, it would be cool if you could have a previous and next button. So you're just swiping left or swiping right to go to the next key in your list. And that could have been sorted by alphabetical, or it could have been sorted by, it's whatever you were sorting it by previously. Right. But when you just go to next, it just goes to the next one. So you could just go to the next one, hit charge, go to the next one, charge, and next you could just cycle through it so fast and see what's being charged and what's not, and just actively charge it. Just boom, right? So without having to go back and go into the next key. So it's just same functionality, it's just faster.
Yeah. And like I like the idea of not having the key actually take up the full screen, like where it's almost rows. Like each key is a row, and you can see like 10 keys on a row, and the bar of the key for the row is filled up how much it's charged, and you can long recharge or quick recharge right there on those 10 keys, and then you can just scroll up.
Oh, that would be way quick if you could do that.
Would it be too quick, do you think? Or do you think, I don't know. It's like there's some times when that may be an issue.
Yeah, like
competitive stuff.
Right.
Possibly.
So like during an anomaly, so that's really when you're the most competitive. Like that's when you want to shave off seconds, right? Every second counts. So if you're wildly throwing bursters out, how can you do that? That's already pretty fast. Like when our last anomaly, I was a burster thrower. What are they called? I forget. Anyway, so it's just like boom, 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 boom. Always doing the long thing, nailing the 20, boom, 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 just all the time. That's pretty fast. So when you think of, well, what about modders? Like, how can they get faster? You can't really get any faster. But then you go through all of the things, and you're like, what about the rechargers? Oh, well, they have it pretty bad, because that's the slowest thing you could possibly do in the scanner is select the key, go inside, charge, go back out. I mean, it's like, why? So anyway, so speed up the recharging, and then you have a whole full workflow when you go to an anomaly, and you can be fast at every position.
I like that. It's good stuff. And what about Agent Zelly Belly? What's your idea this week?
Let's see. I want some. I don't know why I sound like that. Why do I sound like this? I'll just take some. I'll take some skin, because right now I don't have a whole lot of skin on my face. That was weird. It just ends weirdly.
Goms.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you said drums.
Drums.
Okay, so we got a message on the last episode on YouTube from Anibaito, who said, amazing! Hugs from Chile.
Nice.
So hugs right back.
Chili hugs.
We'll give you rainbow llama hugs.
Nice. Is that all we have in comms?
Yeah. Everybody's busy at Anomalies and doing anomaly stuff this week. That's what I'm telling myself.
Right.
That's what I'm
Next
telling
week will be bigger.
myself.
Yes.
Telling myself. So.
We don't have a bumper for this one, do we?
Okay, so. Does that work? Do we just make one up?
I think that was a good one right there.
I don't. Teacher! We got to play it. Was it Teacher? Hot for Teacher? You gonna sing that one?
Hot for teacher.
I don't want to do no homework. Okay, so we're not doing that. Anyway, so we're starting a new segment. We started it last week. You might have missed it. If you did, shame on you. You go to the back of the class. But we're going to try to give out some tips and tricks on playing Ingress. And if you have any that you think people would be interested in, please let us know. And we will put them on the next show and attribute it with your agent handle. Did you see
Attributed.
one? Did you see one of these that floated your boat that you wanted to teach?
Yeah, that let's see. A lot of these are really good tips. The glyph hacking one. Do that one.
This one, there's two of them.
Oh, sorry, the second one.
The first one's kind of crap, so okay. So okay, so this was just, if you know mind, body, soul glyph, so they're the ones that it's kind of like a little little that, and then the triangle, and then the opposite of it. Like, if you can remember mind and soul, that's great. But I always have to say mind, body, soul every time. So then my brain's like mind, body, soul. And so anyway, when I get one of those, to remember it, I tilt my head to whichever direction it's floating. So when I know I get to it, I just know, okay, it's the right way.
Oh, I see what you mean. So yeah, there's some like I forget, like past, present, and future. I used to get that like old school days, like past and future. You can lean your head, and you're like, I remember it was one of those, but which one? Also, the little inside that looks like a little flower petal, I'd say. And you can either go on the left side or the right side with it. A lot of these are kind of like they're symmetrical, so it could either be left or right. But the idea that it's a placeholder by putting your head somewhere, that's interesting because your hands are tied up, right?
Yeah.
Huh, that's a weird, that's a neat little trick, little hack.
So you could do your feet too. It's one thing I've also been starting to do more, and it really helps on 5 glyphs, is trying to remember it in, if I don't know the full sentence yet, because I'm still learning some of the glyphs, I try to basically do 2 sets. So to me, it's easier to learn in doublets, right? Doublets and triplets. So the first 2 I kind of try to keep as a group, and then the last 3 I keep as a group. And it may sound weird, but try it. If you don't know the full sentence right away, just try to remember the first 2, and then try to remember the last 3 in 2 separate groups. And it seems weird, but your brain works like that.
I see.
Like it's hard to it's hard to count like 3 numbers. Like when you add together stuff, you're adding in 2 numbers together and then 2 more numbers together, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not going 3 + 9 + 22. You're not just going, the answer is this. You're quickly going 3 + 9 is this, and then 9 + 22 is that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I think your brain works like that too.
Interesting. So it's kind of like a memorization trick, like There's a lot that goes into that. I remember watching YouTube videos on how to memorize things, because like how do actors memorize pages and pages of text, and it would have to do with like turning words and thoughts into like colors and shapes and things. It's almost like turn them into glyph hacks, you know. But it was all these like tricks and stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I hadn't really stopped to think about, how can I remember these glyphs better? But it's cool when you do, because you can come up with little cool ideas like this. Neat. Pretty cool. Well, class, that's your homework. Go home and glyph hack and stuff. Okay! Hey, they're cooperative kids.
Right?
Yeah, those are some great kids right there. I bet they eat their greens, too. All right, well, that's it for that one.
Pardon me, Agent Soho, Agent Goonie Guy. I'm afraid you are needed in the Situation Room. If you could please wrap it up.
Okay. Maybe we could get him to squirt some oil in there next time. You know what? We'll get him one of those like self-opening doors, like at a grocery store. He just steps on the pad and we'll fix it up. So, what is going on there?
Just clean my glasses.
Okay.
I'm all good. But we've already given out the code, so if you fast forward to the end of the episode just to hear the code, you're screwed this time. Go back and listen to the episode and you will find it in a different segment, and get your badge at agentacademypodcast.com. We can't thank you enough for tuning in live this week and telling a friend, like let another agent know about the show so we get more ideas. Like, it seems like all the agents who listen now have given us all the ideas they have. They don't have any more ideas. So we need more agents to get more ideas. And we'll keep giving out our ideas each week, but you send us some ideas as well. And we got a great website, I think. It's got news on there. There hasn't been much news lately, but what's there is there. And there's a bunch of other cool things there, a bunch of achievements and whatnots. And whatnots, let me tell you, you got to get yourself a whatnots.
Do the MU shirt. Those are cool.
Do the MU. Do the MU.
Sure. Do the MU. Yep. And here it is. If you're watching the video, you can see the do the MU.
So, come back next week. I believe next week there is a holiday Monday, but I think we're still planning on Wednesday. Follow us on Twitter, Agent Academy, to find out if we have to change the show for some reason. And I believe Agent Zillybelly will be back next week with more ideas.
Really good ones.
Much better than ours.
See you next week.
Bye-bye. It's the end of the show. It's the end of the show. It's the end of the show.
Ooh.